everybody, welcome back to the channel and some more Birthright coverage for you today. So we're going to take a quick look at just a general overview of the Book of Priestcraft, but then we will be starting several series on the contents within that, and this is one of the expansion books for the Birthright setting, of course, and obviously focusing on the priestly class and how that really is such an important role here, not just in the sense of being a party member and the healer, of course, but obviously in the sense of what priests represent in Birthright, if you are, for example, a domain ruler, and just the various roles that they can play there, and touching on things that we've covered before, like realm spells, battle magic, and things like that. So if we look at the description from the backside here, so it describes the devoted followers of the gods of Cerealia, their philosophies, tactics, and daily duties. So again, if you're playing any priest and have that in your campaigns, or if you're a DM, for example, thinking of running this, any of these expansions are indispensable and really will make any priest characters that your party is playing just that much more interesting, and you can provide those players with just a whole lot more to really get into the minds of their characters and what their different faiths represent here, and how that also will play out for them. Anything from just the sort of average priestly duties all the way to the political and beyond. So another reason this is such a useful book, right? It details new battle and realm spells for priests, examines the legend of Cerulean religious relics, which really can be sort of major quests and undertakings in and of themselves. So think of it not just as a book of just more stuff, but also potentially a lot of great adventure hooks for recovering these relics, and these are definitely some powerful relics out there. It further explores the investiture ceremony, which is crucial, again, if you're playing Birthright, as far as running domains and things like that, just getting into what makes this investiture ceremony so special. You get a fair bit in the main book, and we've covered that, but this really dives more into that, and that's just a great unique thing of the setting, right? So the mysterious transfer of blood power from one ruler to their heirs, and how it can also be stolen. So, and then it also contains advice to give priest regents on diplomacy, ruling domains, waging wars, and beginning crusades. Again, we've seen, several priestly domains that we've reviewed so far, and it's really like, how can you further approach those, or should you approach those potentially based on where you are, right? And not just the political ones, but even some of the other churches that, at least at the outset, aren't political domains as well. So it's everything, as it says, a priest must know to build an empire in Cerealia, or even to survive. And I love that here. So, right, the true kingmakers of Cerealia. So we'll take a quick flip through in this video. Again, this is not going to be exhaustive by any means, but just to give you guys an example. And these are, just like with the Book of Magecraft, this is a pretty thick book, so you're getting a hell of a lot of value when you purchase that. 128 pages. So, again, the great authors here: Rich Baker, Dale Donovan, Dwayne Maxwell, and of course, Ed Stark. So, which, obviously, without him, really wouldn't have this setting. So, just to give you guys an idea on the contents. So the first section, and we'll definitely cover these all in turn. Again, we've touched on them briefly from what we get in the core book, but obviously there's just so much more now. Remember, the core book did give us those interesting priest and or paladin kits for a lot of the gods, but this will go into more detail here. So we'll cover the Pantheon again, but in longer format. We'll get into strategies and tactics that the priests can use, specifically as far as their domains go, tactics, religion and state, how that interacts, and some domain actions as well. We'll have a series of videos on the investiture ceremony, and again, what makes that really unique and special in the setting. Then we'll get into more spells for the priests. So there's also the idea of cooperative magic, battle magic, again, realm spells, and spells for regents, and then various Cerulean magic items and relics, and even the possibility of maybe consecrating a relic, in other words, creating one, and how that would work in the setting too, although you'd have to be very high level up. And then it contains some useful lists, which really is just a lot of spells and magical abilities. But again, with this being a second edition setting, obviously it's going to reference a lot of other second edition products that are out there. So again, we'll kind of flip here from back to front. So just to give you guys an idea. So again, plenty of spell lists here. a lot of the artifacts. Lots of interesting new realm magic as well, and really some potent things. So even has some things for like priests that are, you know, up in the teens as well. So while the core book again gives you a fair bit of things to get you started, again, just the sheer breadth that this adds to the priest class is really cool. So if you're a DM, you're definitely going to want to pick this up for, again, priests in your campaigns, but also not just for the players, but this makes your ability to have like priestly NPCs be that much more interesting and really make the setting come alive even more. And definitely the guides on basically for priests running their realms and really expanding it and how to approach that is also indispensable. Because a lot of the theocracies that we've seen so far, at least covering from Annuir, they're, you know, Medoweir's in a very precarious spot and also not a big realm. Telinier is a little bit bigger, but kind of also under the thumb of Borroween and has some tougher neighbors as well. But I think that one would be a great one to sort of launch crusades from. You can certainly deal with the Five Peaks or try to, but then also Thurazor would be ripe for the picking. That would build you a nice little empire in that section of Annuir at least. Again, these kind of give you like master lists of all the temple holdings across basically everywhere in Cerelia as well. Also new proficiencies for the gods and things. So again, we'll cover all these in detail for you guys. So, and again, some more artwork as well. Kind of wish that they had done the regular sort of color pages that we've seen basically all the other Birthright products. So they kind of went with this reddish thing for this. It's not bad, but I will say I enjoy the other one a little bit more. So again, you can get an idea. So just covering all the temples out there for Amani as an example. And some of this I really wish if they would have done color artwork, but that's all right. Minor gripes. So again, very quick thumb through here for you guys. Again, by no means exhaustive, but we will be getting into this. So, and covering this in detail. So look forward to lots of different content on the priest class and what we encounter here in the Book of Priestcraft. Definitely recommend folks get it if you can find it. There are nowadays, unfortunately, a lot of people doing like these rebinds and reprints of a lot of these secondhand books. Which, I mean, if you can get it, great. Although what annoys me with that is people are still charging ridiculous prices for it, even though they're essentially reprinting stuff. So if you can, I always recommend just going with the original. So get the OG versions of all these, especially for some of the box sets, right? Because you want all the other contents of those box sets. Now you're going to pay probably a decent penny for these. Sometimes it seems like you can get some of these for decent price. But then sometimes, again, just people on eBay are wanting insane prices for a lot of the secondhand stuff. It's just getting, I guess, a little bit rarer, among other things. So look for a good copy, guys. Definitely worth the investment for DMs and players, really. You know, we had just basically been mentioning DM-related uses for it. Again, if you're a player, you definitely have, you should be picking this up too. So somebody, at least in the gaming group, if you're running Birthright, again, should at least own a copy of it and can maybe share it amongst the group. But again, definitely a worthy purchase, and I think will add a lot of flavor and just expand in general upon the Birthright setting. So definitely a recommend. But let us know your thoughts, guys. If you have the Book of Priestcraft or any other questions that you have, be sure to comment on the video. And again, look forward to content coming up for this here in the near future. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. And if you want to support the channel a little bit more too, before we go, do check out our Patreon, guys. We'll have a lot of unique content, and there already is up there for Birthright. Generally right now it's just a lot of early release videos, so certainly worth the look there. But then also there's a couple of unique things there. So for example, we're reviewing the entire Birthright novel series on the Patreon, and then that will be exclusive there. We'll have other exclusive things coming up as well for Birthright and other games and things that we cover. So definitely consider that. And again, any and all support does mean a lot and helps support us. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.